Okay. Seems like we already have some people here. I'm assuming you can hear me because I do this every time. I can see it on there. Yes, you can hear me. But let me know who's in here. We've got 5 people in here already. Love that. Let me know your names, where you come from, what you're doing on this fine evening. Meanwhile, if you are new, we're going to set up the same thing over on TikTok. So I'll be looking there, looking here. But really, YouTube is where it's at. So let's go. What's up, Farhad from Pakistan? I'm not on mute. Surely I'm not on mute. Am I actually? There's no way. Kenji, okay, cool. Am I good? Kenji, am I good? I guarantee you had it. You had me on mute, didn't you? What's up, Matt? Appreciate you guys. Dwayne scared me. Tebow, you know I love you. You know I'm loving you. Now we got some things to discuss, people. We've got a lot to discuss, a lot to get through. Already 6 likes. We've got 9 people. 6, 9. If we can get it up to we've got 15 people in here now. Come on. What did we reach last time? The most viewers we reached last time was, I want to say, 66. And liked wise, I think we hit about 56 in the live. So we got to get the numbers up. Come on, those are rookie numbers. What's up, Kevo? I'm going to be looking at both this time. We've got TikTok going on here. We've got YouTube going as well. Just so you know, if you're on TikTok, I say this now, we are doing a transfer show. We're going to do these quite regularly throughout the course of the summer window. If you want me to see your comments a lot more clearly, go click the link in the bio on TikTok, come over onto YouTube. Exact same show, except you can see me full frontal, which is nice. And it's up to you. If you prefer watching on TikTok, prefer hearing me on YouTube, totally up to you. But can I ask you guys first, like, Diam, Ritvik, Kenji, Dwayne, appreciate you guys. Is it coming through okay? Because I remember the last time it got a bit crackly. And I don't know if that's just a live thing. I don't know if it was that particular show. I might keep it a bit further away, but hopefully it's not crackling. Hopefully it sounds the way it's supposed to sound. Farhad Maji, thank you very much, Kenji. Love that. Now, thank you for the gifts in TikTok. Whoever just sent me that. Gee. And yeah, it's up to you guys. I mean, if you want to listen on TikTok, on YouTube, I will find a way, because as you can see from the setup, I will find a way where we can get Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube going up at the same time. Ideally, a bit of a better webcam quality with YouTube. So yeah, it'll all be ready. It's just a case of knowing what to buy and knowing what to do. Try Riverside. I might try Riverside, to be honest. I was probably going to try OBS just because it's free. But I'll look into Riverside. Why not? Dan, appreciate you. Ruba, appreciate you. Let me know where you're from, people. We've got 10 likes. We've got 19 people in here. Oh, Genzo, very kind of you in the chat. Now, wherever you are, I'm going to start talking now about some actual news. Wherever you are, get the likes going, because apparently, depending on which platform you're on, if you get those likes going, it just brings more people in. And why are we here, people? Because this is the non-toxic Manchester United platform. I want to build the healthiest and best community of Manchester United fans in the world. And the fact of the matter is, I can't do it on my own. I got to do it with you guys. We're a team. We love Manchester United. We want the best for the club. Get the lights going in the chat. 34 people in here now. If you're new, subscribe. And if you come over from TikTok onto YouTube and you get in the chat, let me know you've done that. Free shout out wherever you are. If you've just subscribed, if you've just followed, let me know so I can shout you out and thank you personally. Soam, thank you. Great to see you stream regularly. Yeah. Eunice, you've been a big fan since day one. Legend. Absolute legend. Connor, I think you just came over from TikTok, did you? We're going to get into that. We're going to start with that news, actually. But yeah, Soham just says, great to see you stream regularly. Thank you for that. Paul, appreciate you. I will absolutely be streaming more regularly, especially in the transfer window, because personally, it's my favorite time of year. A lot of the football calendar is to do transfers. And I just enjoy it. I always have. Yes, Ruba, I appreciate you, man. Tebow, appreciate you. Tyler, appreciate you. And yeah, honestly, there's a lot that we can get through. And everyone, thank you for the gifts on TikTok. Thank you for the love. Let's chat some transfers, shall we? If you're new, drop a like. And if you're new, tell me follow up wherever you are. Let's get through the news now, okay? So if I don't see, I want to hear you guys' opinion as well on everything I'm saying. This isn't just a case of me coming here telling you news and that's it. The whole point of going live is because I want to hear what you have to say. Do you know what I mean? And Josias has done what I want you guys to do as well. So if you have a specific question, come onto YouTube, let me know it because I can see it all a lot clearly than I can on TikTok. But Josias has just come up with a nice question here. Do you see signs of improved scouting and recruitment compared to earlier? Absolutely. I can't imagine that there are actually people in this world who are upset with the way Manchester United is being run from a recruitment point of view since INEOS have come in. I'm sorry, I don't get it. I don't like how people are just jumping on this bandwagon that everything that we did previously means that we're just going to be terrible for the rest of our lives. And also any sort of misstep, or they're kind of like, people are sort of anticipating that we're just going to not sell for a profit, not sell for the right reasons, buy poorly, or buy like overspending on players because of what we've done in the past. I can't stress to you enough that we are not the same team anymore. We're Manchester United, obviously, but we're not. Just as much as the Glazers were not, and Woodward and Murtaugh and Edward, just as much as they weren't the same team that Martin Edwards and David Gill and Sir Alex Ferguson were, we are not run by the same team anymore. The ones that did so badly are no longer there. They're nowhere to be found. And I love what Latham has just said there. He says, do we only have Cunha right now? The fact that we're saying, do we only have them when we're on the 8th of June? We're 1 week in. And the people, I'm not saying that you're there getting impatient on what's going on. I appreciate you guys in the TikTok as well with the gifts. I see it all. Let's get the lights going on either platform. Appreciate you guys. But there is no way that you can not be happy by saying we bought Cunha straight away on the first day, on the 1st of June, that was confirmed. And then we're progressing with Mbeumo, which I'll get to because I have quite a significant update on the Mbeumo situation. And we're looking at a striker. So we can't be too upset with the way things are going. Do you know what I mean? Tyler says, allow the boys in the back room to cook. I completely agree. And I'm sick of, and you'll hear me say it again, if you're genuinely one of those fans that thinks that Ratcliffe and INEOS are just like the Glazers or they let them stay or anything like that, please either watch my other videos or listen to me more regularly when it comes to this stuff. You cannot be more wrong. Because right now we are concluding good, solid deals for good players. Now, we've started off with Cunha. I mentioned it a lot in my last show. I've mentioned it a lot in separate videos. Cunha for 62.5 million, a player who is regularly been sounded out by some of the biggest and some of the best clubs in the Premier League, including Manchester City, who were after him, then everything has changed on that front because we went and we bought a player that pretty much he could play for any team in the league. You cannot tell me that Matheus Cunha wouldn't get into any team in the league because he absolutely would. He's chosen us and he's chosen us on 3 installments. So we've only committed 20 million of that to him. And everyone will go in about all this stuff. Wait, and Mbeumo to Spurs. Here we go. That's not true. Nah, he's absolutely sent me there, but I'm going to have to check Twitter. Do you know what's mad? Is with these sort of deals that we've got going on as well, like when you look at the Mbeumo situation and when you look at all these players, it's like everyone that we've been looking to sign has been good quality players from INEOS. Like genuinely, it's really good. And Diam_creep, I think you want to change that, brother, says, honestly, I believe this will be an action-packed window from us, ins and outs, and hopefully this propels us going into next season. And I think it will. Could it be that Mbeumo is only using us as a stalk and also joining us only because he wants to, because we'll pay ridiculous wages? We won't pay any more than anyone else will pay. This 250,000 number is totally false. It's not real. Tebow, was it Heaven and Obi that came from the INEOS? Yeah. Aiden Heaven, Chido Obi, Patrick Dorgu, Zirkzee, Delict, Mazraoui, Ugarte, Yoro, and also Sekou Kone, Samuel Assail, some other youngsters as well. Really good recruitment from INEOS so far. Baba Flossie, what did you say? So what recruitment have INEOS done so far? I've just told you what they've done. So I kind of answered your question. INEOS have been here for 1.5 years, 2 years. Not gonna lie, bro, I've unfollowed Fabrizio and it has been so delightful. So many transfers are coming as a shock and it's reviving my feel from the past. Do you know what, Ritvik? I kind of wish I could do the same, but I need to be ahead of the curve and making content. So Unfortunately, Fabrizio just knows his stuff. Rarely is he wrong. And when he is wrong, you remember the fact that he's wrong. So you can't be wrong that often. Kone should get game time. Latham, we're going to talk about Kone, but with first, I do have quite a significant update that I've seen being posted around various different sources that makes me believe that it's true around Bryan Mbeumo. So Mbeumo, the fee that we're looking at, from what I've been told and what I've seen from various sources, is that they want the first number, Brentford want that first number to have a 5 in front of it. So they want a more of a guarantee that they're going to get the money that they want for Bryan Mbeumo. And they, to be honest, I know Bryan Mbeumo is going into the last year of his contract, but he also, very critically, which people don't understand, is Bryan Mbeumo has a year extension option in there, which Brentford will have no problem in making, serious again and just igniting straight away. They don't even need the player to sign it. It's a trigger that the team can have. It's like what we had with Pogba and what we had with a few and Herrera and a few other players. And yeah, he could go for free and all that, but why would you risk? Because then that'll be 2 years of not having Bryan Mbeumo as one of the most potent attackers in the league. So that's the first thing. People weren't that clear on the fact that he's got a 1-year extension. I can confirm Bryan Mbeumo does have a 1-year extension in his Brentford contract, which essentially means we're looking at a player who has 2 years on his contract rather than 1. That brings us closer to the valuation that Brentford were looking at. That being said, for me, we shouldn't be going any further than that. Having a 5 in front of it, I think is fine for a player of his stature. I think he's good enough for that. I think he'll be a game changer for Man United. All you have to do is see how direct he is, how brilliant he is. And I said in the last show, I'm going to make the point again. Let me know if you agree. If you disagree with me, absolutely fine. But, just on that, we've actually just hit 67 people in the YouTube live, which is why I'm looking over here for everyone on TikTok. We're trying to hit 5K subscribers. We hit 4.5K today. We've got a big giveaway for 5K subscribers, but we're breaking records straight away on YouTube. Let's get the likes going. Let's get it up to 50 plus likes on the YouTube live. But if you're on TikTok and I'm ignoring your comments, it's because I can't see them very clearly. Come over, click the link in bio over to YouTube, subscribe, and join the live from there. You'll get immediate updates when I go live as well on either platform. So whichever works for you, subscribe on YouTube though, because I love it. And I'm trying to build a bit more there. Now, with Josiah just said, with already Cunha in, if United managed to land both Mbeumo and Gyokeres, how would you rate their window, assuming they would also offload Rashford, Sancho, Antony, and Garnacho? So immediately, I think if we were to just sell all those players, that immediately takes the window up to an 8 anyway. But what we saw immediately from January is that we cannot just get rid of them and not replace them. It's diabolical if we do that. We have to replace these players, and we have to replace them well. 69 people in the live. it's a record, but it's amazing. 100 people on TikTok and around 150 people tuning in right now. Wherever you are, smash the likes, follow up where you are, because I'm going to do this a lot more regularly, updating you on the transfers as and when I know more. So Mbeumo, first things first, he has that extension, and it's not one of those extensions where the player has to agree. The team can just trigger it straight away. We had it many times and lost players for free. That's the thing. And they're also using the Cunha deal as a yardstick. Do you know what I mean? Thank you, Mark. Appreciate you. They're using that as a yardstick. So they want the same amount of money that we paid for Cunha. However, they're not going to get that straightforward. And what really does make me think about this deal is that even though we paid a release clause for Cunha, which was 62.5 million, we still paid in the installments we wanted. So when you hear this fee, whatever the fee is that we agree, it will be an installment. I'm putting my neck on the line and saying it won't be a flat out fee. If it is, then we need to reassess, because we can't commit 50 million on one player in this window alone. We're going to have to do these installment deals quite regularly until the end of until maybe 2 or 3 windows, really, because of everything that's going on. But that is where we're at. Oh, Lewis is in the chat. That's one of my best friends in the world. And he's asked about Garnacho. So let's just read some of these chats and we'll get into it. So honestly, I would give Rashford a second chance. I think that time is gone. Who do you reckon will be better, Mbeumo or Cunha, if it happens? Cunha. Why aren't United looking to replace Onana? Surely he can't play for us next season. Our problem has, put it this way, I know the exact reason, and well, I haven't spoken to any of them. Thank you for the follows. If you're new, drop a follow where you are. Tell me you have. I'll try and shout you out if I see it. But and come over onto YouTube. We're trying to hit 100 people in YouTube. We have 100 people on TikTok. Come through YouTube, subscribe, do all that good stuff. But we conceded, and you're not going to believe me when I say it, we conceded 8 fewer goals than Newcastle last season, and they finished in the top 4, and we were 15th. We conceded 16 less than Aston Villa. It doesn't mean that if we score 16 more, if we score 8 more, that suddenly we're up there. But that tells you everything, doesn't it? It is all about, we've stopped the goals going in as much as they have been, but we haven't been able to score. We've been the potency in the attack has completely gone, and we need to change that. And that is what we have been changing quite regularly. So to get Cunha in sorted, brilliant. And Mbeumo would be a great upgrade as well. Everyone, and this is my last thing on the Mbeumo thing. Please, if you think this, reevaluate your lives. Because anyone who says, how are you going to play with Mbeumo and Ahmad? Please check, and you can go on Transfermarkt and you can check this if you don't believe me. Look how many goals Ahmad scored from the right attack and mid position versus the right wing back position. And look at how many goals we conceded while he was in that role. Because we always play a more mobile defensive player next to him in the right centre-back role to close off that gap as much as possible. But Ahmad has the engine to go up and down, so you don't have to worry about that. And also, Ahmad is best when he has more of the grass to look at. You nullify him, you close him down, he's not effective. And Mbeumo can still be effective either way. So Ahmad will be better for Mbeumo coming in. They'll learn from each other. They'll be competitive with each other, and they'll free each other up, because as we saw in the Spurs game, I hate to bring it up, but as we saw in that, double up on Ahmad, he ain't going nowhere. 1v1 Ahmad, he might get somewhere. 1v1 Mbeumo, it's probably going to beat you. Have both of them on the pitch. You might have to commit 3 or 4 just to deal with both of them. Who does that free up? Bruno Fernandes. Who does that free up? Mateus Cunha. Who does that free up? Joshua Zirkzee. It works. So this is all what comes down to it. And which one's better, mate? Gyokeres or Mateta to lead our front three? I don't think it's as far away as people are saying between Mateta and Gyokeres, but I think Gyokeres is a better striker, but one's Premier League proven. So I would still say Gyokeres, obviously, but it's not as far as people make out. Is it realistic that we will sell Rashford, Sancho, and Garnacho given the wage demands? I think Garnacho will leave. I'm on to him next. Sancho, I think, is going to go as well. Rashford is probably going to be a loan, and I don't want it to be, but it probably is. I think I saw somewhere that Goldbridge disagreed with Mbeumo signing. Thoughts? Means we've got to sign him then. Who do you reckon? What is that? What do you think of Dorgu? I think he's been underwhelming. Rogers, I think you're so harsh. Anyone who thinks Dorgu's been underwhelming, I'm actually going to release a video on TikTok straight after this that I've already filmed. Dorgu came into the worst possible situation to develop his career, and yet he's been a consistent performer throughout. He's still at Manchester United, has the highest progressive place for any wing-back in the world, any fullback in the world, ahead of Alejandro Balde, ahead of everyone, and he's playing at Manchester United. In fact, there's a stat that goes through the top 10 most progressive plays of any fullback in Europe. He's on there twice because he was at Lecce and Man United. He's a very good player. I think he's raw, and it annoys me when people go in on players like him, because what rebuild did you want? Like, you can't expect these players who are not ready yet to come in and all of a sudden be ready. And it's like, why would you want that to happen anyway? You say you want to rebuild. It means getting these players in and rebuilding them properly and making that happen. So I'm very happy with Patrick Dorgu. I think he's been very good since he's come in. I think he's great ground duel percentage win rate. I think he's got one of the best yards covered, like in a Man United shirt, with the ball at his feet and without. I think he's got an engine on him. He doesn't really get injured, at least yet. Obviously, we've got to see what happens with him. And he's got much better final decision making than Dalot. So I'm happy with Dorgu. I think it's an upgrade. Do you reckon Amas deserves to be on the bench? Yeah, and I think he'll stay there because he's good, but he's not as good as what we have. So he's got to do that. Cheeky bid on Trafford and Hayden Hackney. Mark, I want Hayden Hackney badly. I'm not sure about James Trafford. I think he's too lightweight for the Premier League and for us, especially with the weight of expectation. I think go up with Burnley again, have fun, see what you can do, stay there. But Hayden Hackney, I need Hayden Hackney. I need it. Why no mention of Diego Leon? Mark has just asked in the TikTok chat. It's because the deal's done and he's coming on July 1st. And you can't really talk much more when you're 17. So when he's of age, he'll be there. Don't worry. Should we get a centre back or not? Less of a priority compared to others. Let's see. Gyokeres, Arsenal, and Mbeumo, Spurs. We will get Scarborough striker cheap. Yeah, well done, Georgie. Pause there. What did I say? Any free agent that we can sign? I think we're I'm shocked that we didn't look at Angel Gomez personally. I'm very shocked we didn't look at him. Jonathan David as well. But it is what it is. Keeper recommendations. Weirdly, I would have signed as a backup. I would have signed Kepa and got rid of Bayindir. But he's gone to Arsenal. I think Arsenal have done very well getting Kepa for €5 million. I think that's a great deal personally. Please explain your hot take about Jamal Pedro instead. Oh, Joao Pedro. Yeah. So personally, I think Joao Pedro is a complete striker. He can score. He can hold the ball up. He's got 3 or 4 years Premier League experience. He's already in line with the national team. I think he's fantastic. So he's more of a sort of Joshua Zirkzee type build. But if it came down to signing Pedro or Gyokeres, I will always go for the proven Premier League option than the risk of going abroad because in my opinion, there isn't too much physically that changes that's between Rasmus Højlund and Gyokeres, especially at that age. Rasmus Højlund is better than Gyokeres was at the age he's at. So believe it or not, Gyokeres wasn't very good. Didn't have a first team appearance for where he was at, and he was sent on loan to Swansea and all these places. So, I think people need to reevaluate when looking at those two. But yeah, it doesn't mean I say we keep him, but you know what I mean. We can go for Miles Lewis-Skelly since negotiations with Arsenal going poorly. Miles Lewis-Skelly will never come to us. What do you see as more important, replacing Onana and keeping Højlund or replacing Højlund and keeping Onana? What a fantastic question. Replacing Onana, keeping Højlund because of the Cunha and Mbeumo deals. Would you start Mainu or Garte? Mainu has to start ahead of him, but in the role, it always depends. I'm happy with both. I'm very happy with those two midfielders. Are we making a mistake on not getting Joe Bellingham like we did with Jude Bellingham? No. They're nowhere near the same player. Watch more of Joe Bellingham, nowhere near the same player as Jude. But yeah, keep it going. We've got 42 likes. We're going to move on to our next transfer story, which is Alejandro Garnacho. So please, wherever you are, follow and get the likes going as much as you can. You can name a truckload of Prem proven flops from United alone. There's no safe bets. There are no safe bets, but then I can also look at, I don't know, Rio Ferdinand, Wayne Rooney, Louis Saha, Michael Carrick, and I can name just as many good ones, but I can name far more flops from outside of the UK who came for big money. I can name much more big money signings in the Prem that actually worked out that didn't. Don't you even think about that. I can't wait for Garnacho to leave. Hopefully we can fleece someone 55, 60 million. We are force-fitting Casemiro and Bruno. We're not really force-fitting because he was there before the manager came in, so it's more just making do with what you have. Bro, TikTok lives are better than YouTube lives. Up to you. Stay where you are. Stay wherever you like, but make sure you subscribe on YouTube at least. Do you know what I mean? Regarding Garnacho, do you think we could use him as a player swap plus some money for Osimhen? That's horrible. You want to pay and give Garnacho away? Bad idea. We should sign Stansfield or Wharton. Jesus Christ, Stansfield. Wharton maybe, but they want like 80 million for him. Now, let's go on to the big topic. It's a massive topic with Alejandro Garnacho. Get your points in the chat. Wherever you are, TikTok, YouTube, wherever you are, get the likes going as well. We're trying to hit like 100 on YouTube. Let's see if we can hit 10. Let's see if we can hit 20,000 on TikTok. You could tell which one I'm trying to build, right? If you fancy coming over on YouTube and helping out, link in bio through there. Even if you don't stick around for the live, just subscribe. Big giveaway at 5K. Garnacho said stay. Amram has failed. I'm going to read all your comments, like as many comments as I can about Garnacho. Tell me your Garnacho thoughts right now. I prefer that he doesn't go to another English team. Okay. Let's see. Garnacho is a cracking player, but he's got an awful attitude. Garner is a quality winger, but we don't use wingers or wide forwards, so he has to go. Even if he had 30 goals, his attitude has got to go. Did you leave your job to do this full time, mate? Well, my job left me. AG to Napoleon, they will win a Scudetto again. No, he ain't going. He could go to Napoli, but I don't think they'll win Scudetto again. Actually, they might. You know what? I take that back. They actually might. I think he should leave because his attitude is not good. Garner will go to Leverkusen. I doubt that very much. Mindset: we should have Would he survive at Sir Alex with all disrespect? Surely no. Good point. Garnacho was a good player. I don't know what happened. I'll tell you what happened. His decision making is awful. Kind of sad Garnacho is leaving. Garnacho is a fantastic player. However, he doesn't fit the formation. So I truly believe we need to sell him, which is a shame, but I don't think he cares enough to change his play style. Garnacho shouldn't be sold. Honestly, he has a ton of potential making runs near the box, putting in good shots. Training ethic is good. Only thing is his attitude, which if given time, I think Ruben can probably work with. He's a good Premier League winger, doesn't fit, and will fund better players. Now, I've heard what you're all saying. I understand. We're on 8K likes on TikTok, 50 likes on YouTube. Let's get those likes up, subscribe or follow wherever you are, because here's my genuine view on Alejandro Garnacho. His attitude is pathetic. Can we please get that? It's not bad. It's not, oh, it's a bit questionable. It's awful. He came out at the end of a Europa League final, which we lost, and said, oh, essentially it's because he didn't play enough. I was there. You might think he was a bit of a spark. He just complained. He got the ball, and honestly, 20 minutes is a long time in football. It was more than that, really, because of added time. He had about half an hour to change things. He didn't. This is what you need to get over yourselves if you're that hard on Garnacho. He didn't change the game. He didn't do any of that. And I had initial thoughts. This is me just being a bit personal now because obviously I don't know him, but this is what I thought at the time. I was worried at the time of Garnacho when I saw that he was getting married early, having a kid early, and all this sort of stuff was happening because I'd seen it time and time again with elite sport. You then get carry on people who have to be around you to be a support network for the things that you're doing outside of football, right? But then in doing that, because your life is football, they merge into the football world with you. So, in my opinion, his brother alone, his wife alone, some of the things that she said, or his girlfriend or whatever, he has to go because everything that Garnacho says and does is wrong. It's not that it's questionable. It's a bit like, oh, some would say it, some wouldn't. It's horrendous, the things that he says. And when a player, and you got to remember as well, I know that we're not really in the luxurious position to be like, we can lose him because we've got so many ready-made replacements, because we don't. If we lose him, we have to reinvest the money somewhere. But what I would say is that far more talented players in Manchester United history have come and gone than Alejandro Garnacho. Far more talented. Marcus Rashford is one of them. Marcus Rashford and Alejandro Garnacho should not even be in the same sentence. Rashford is so far clear of him. I think we can all understand that. So that happens, and we've lost David Beckham. We've lost Jaap Stam. We lost Ruud van Nistelrooy, my personal favourite player, Ruud van Nistelrooy. I understood why he had to go. Looking back on it, I understand now. Back at the time, I didn't, but looking back, of course I did. And even players like when Paul Pogba had to go, like that was right. Footballing wise, it wasn't, but you have to maintain your control. And if the manager says you're not good enough to do this, then fine. And do you know what? Ryan has made a point there, and I want to highlight this. I think the issue is the United fans glazed him when he had a few good performances, allowing his ego to get the better of him. What he forgot is he's played in a poor United team. Spot on. But also, I hate this. I I hate this excuse that Man United players have, saying that almost like we're the problem. I'm sorry, without us, the club doesn't exist. We are Manchester United. All of us are. You're representatives of Manchester United, and all the people in charge are custodians and managers of Manchester United. We are the club. We're the ones who watch all the games. We're the ones who pay all of our money. We're the ones who devote our life to this stuff. And we have it happen, like we have it affect us in certain ways. Like this has been my club since I was like 4 years old. And when I see players disrespect it to that point, of course it's going to get to me because if I'm not good enough to play football, I tried playing football. I wasn't good enough. I know that, not because of an injury, just because I wasn't good enough. However, if Man United gave me the opportunity once to play, I would run until I died. That is how. Chloe, no, sorry, he hasn't eaten yet. He's been eating a bit later lately, so I was going to go down around 7ish. But genuinely, that is where we're at with things. And I just think Garnacho is a good player and he needs to go somewhere else. Someone said earlier in the live, I really hope that Garnacho is going to go away from the Premier League and all this sort of stuff. Completely agree with that. To be honest, I wouldn't mind that either. So if he goes away from the Premier League, then it's kind of out of sight, out of mind sort of thing. I actually would enjoy that. We're nearly at 100 people on YouTube, by the way. So if you're on TikTok, link in bio, go over there because I can see all the comments. But I think that is probably the right go. And yeah, I honestly think that Farhad, appreciate you, and genuinely that is why I would lose Alejandro Garnacho. Like I just don't think he's the right mentality to be at Manchester United, and a lot of them aren't. And there's players that are worse. Sancho is far worse. Don't get me started on him. I talked about him in the last one. No point in doing that. You would bring Elanga back. He wouldn't fit in the system. He's not even an out-and-out winger. We sold him for a good amount of money. There's a sell-on clause there that Newcastle could activate. He's perfect for where he is right now. Where's that hate for Rashi coming from? I didn't hate on Rashford when I say that. Rashford and Garnacho just don't care. No, Rashford has gotten to a point where he's fed up with the situation and he no longer can deal with the situation. Garnacho doesn't care. There's two. That they're you have to put them on different worlds. Yeah, I hear you. Unfortunately, no matter who plays for United, they're always going to be under the spotlight. But that's why certain players do well and certain players crumble. Yeah, completely agree. And that is the case. And that is why I'm really happy with the Cunha deal. I'm really happy with Mbeumo. I'm equally quite happy with Garnacho leaving. And Kenji's mentioned, do we need to discuss how he middle fingered the fans who came to Malaysia, spent money and time to go? Okay, do you know what? I understand why the players were annoyed. Do you know what I mean? I understand why the players were annoyed because we shouldn't have a post-season tour. I think it's set their development back quite a lot. Their recovery, sorry for the season. So I can understand why they're annoyed. But I agree, he shouldn't have put his middle finger up. None of them should have. Ahmad shouldn't have. Do you know what I mean? Looking into that, it was a he said, she said sort of situation. So I'm a bit like, he shouldn't have done that either, really. You need to keep you calm as a footballer, because why you don't want Gyokeres. I see your tweet. It doesn't mean I don't want Gyokeres. I hate this. Why is it when I compare two players and I say I'd prefer this one, it doesn't mean I don't want the other one. It's okay. So I prefer Ronaldo. Do I hate Messi? Of course not. What I'm saying is I think there are players that are better suited to our system and our style of play, and it will always be the players that are already Prem proven. Like I want Prem proven quality. That has been how we've been raised as Manchester United. It's how every big club has been able to do that and get the best players for that amount of money, or they develop them in a certain style and it happens to fit that style. Like with Liverpool, for example, with getting Alisson and things like that. But Van Dijk, if they don't get Van Dijk, they don't win the Premier League. It's those sort of signings that you need to start looking at and making. Kolo Muani would be a good striker for us. I think that's a fair option. But next question. I'm all good, Damo. Let me know in TikTok and on YouTube, wherever you are. If you're on TikTok, just come subscribe on YouTube and you can pop back out wherever you like. But I want you guys to answer this now, wherever you are. What is the minimum amount of money that you would take for Alejandro Garnacho? The minimum amount. And be serious. Be serious. What is the minimum amount you're taking for Alejandro Garnacho? Get it in the chat. 45, 20. Okay. 50, 50, 70, 50, 40, 35. Jesus. 45, 45, 75, 50, 55 in add-ons, 60 minimum, 44, 50. Okay. Starting to sense the trend. For me, the overall package has to be 70 million. It doesn't mean that we out and out get 70 million for him. But what I need you to understand is Max Kilman. Like this is a creator called Alice. Alice Talks Footy put this as a tweet, and it was perfect. She made a video about it as well, and it changed everything for me. It was like, I'm not saying 70 million as a package. What I'm saying is maybe 50 and up to 70 in add-ons. I would take that all day long. However, yeah, Max Kilman went from Wolves to West Ham for 40 million quid. Fulkrug was about half of what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think people do need to get a bit of a grip. And also, when it comes, am I on United View soon? Hopefully tomorrow, mate. But genuinely, what's weird about this this Garnacho valuation is that his attitude is a problem, and this season has been bad. Average out his last 3 seasons, he is still one of the top performing players in his position in the world. at his age. Better than Martinelli. Better than Madueke. Do you know what I mean? Better than Luis Diaz even. In the 3-year period. So you have to get as much money as you can for Garnacho. Because how old is he? Like 20, 21? He's got to go. And he's got to go for the right amount of money. So he's got to go for about 70 million Garnacho, in my opinion. And everyone will say, oh, 70 million. No, it is whatever the initial fee is, the overall package has to be about 70 mil. It does. And you might call me crazy. That's what I think. Look at the current transfer market. Look at the trends. That is where we need to go. And Ray and H says if it's a 60 million package, I'd be pretty happy with that as well. Because I think it counts as pure profit, which I don't know how, considering we bought him from Atletico Madrid, but he came through Carrington at some point. So I think that because he was there for a certain amount of time, it's fair enough. So I would give that. And I think those are the main transfer rumors. Get in the chat which ones you want me to talk about next. And let me just sift through some of my favorite ones. If you have any questions on anything I've said or some of the things that you might have seen online, I'm just going to check my feed as well to make sure I haven't missed anything. But yeah, please let me know. And I'll do what I always do. Just in the starting lineups as well for the Portugal versus Spain game, which I'm really looking forward to. I can't wait to watch that. Ronaldo and Bruno Fernandes start for Portugal, which is surely everyone's supporting Portugal in it. Surely. Yeah. And that is it. Do you know what I mean? So, do you know what is... Ooh. Hang on. I just had a thought, actually. So I didn't think this before, but with Garnacho, I just saw, like, Bayer Leverkusen are interested in him. And thank you, Rio. Bayer Leverkusen are expressing quite a clear interest in him. And I saw a tweet from Fabrizio, I think it was, saying that they might find the deal quite difficult to push forward. However, am I right in thinking they're about to lose Florian Wirtz to Liverpool, which is 140 million euros? Pay up? What do you mean? You better pay up now, bro. Are you stupid? Yes, Reggie. Do you know what I mean? Like, how dumb do you actually think we are? Which player could United sign that has the most influence on the team? I think Cunha will have the most influence, personally. We could be charging them more for sending Wirtz to those. Yeah, true. Mike Mannion. Okay. Kenji has asked the question. Thank you for the gifts on TikTok. Kenji has asked a question about Mike Mannion going to Chelsea for 50 million. Why can't we price match that offer? Trust me on this. Trust me. Watch Mike Mannion. He's an improvement on Onana. The same flaws are there. I don't want him. I don't want him at all. We need to sell Ugarte. What absolute nonsense. The cheapskates at Liverpool will take up until Jan to pay up the 150 million for Wirtz. We should be going all out for Donnarumma. If we sell Onana, then yeah. But right now, we can't really be making those sorts of assumptions. Like we're looking at Lammers and like other smaller goalkeepers like that. But Donnarumma would be fantastic. I just don't think he'll come to us. Saint Abdi, yeah, genuinely, Mannion, I don't see it. Do you think Garnacho is going to become Sancho 2.0 after his comments? Probably. And yeah, he can go. Do you know what I mean? They can both leave. I can't do another year of Onana. It will destroy me. Emi Martinez, no. It doesn't fit the INEOS model, so we're not going to go for that. His wage demands will be crazy. He deserves a good wage packet. He deserves a Saudi move. He genuinely deserves it now. No point. No point going for him. Whoever says we're getting Donnarumma is smoking something. Yeah, facts. He ain't. Donnarumma ain't going. When will Diego Leon join? 1st of July. 1st of July. Anthony Nusa for RB Leipzig? No, not for what we want. Mateta, already explained. I think he's a bit too... I don't even know the word. He's a bit too jumbly for me. Do you know what I mean? Elanga was sold for 15 million, McTominay for 35 million. Surely they know Garnacho should be more expensive. They will know that. Also, Elanga was 15 million, but we got a mad release clause, which I think Newcastle could activate if they sign him. We should go for that Espanyol keeper. If you're on about Juan Garcia, he has been confirmed to go to Barcelona. Here we go, 3 or 4 days ago. So unfortunately not. Honestly, a decent goalkeeper sign is the Napoli goalkeeper. You're on about Alex Merritt because he's just signed a new deal as well. How much do you think we'll get for Anthony? Anthony could go for 40 plus, 35, 40 mil plus. Festi Ebesele, don't know. I don't know if that's actually a player's name. Never heard of him, unless you just want me to say something weird. But I've never actually heard of him. And that could be clipped up if he becomes amazing. And I hope it does because I don't want to disrespect a player like that. Never heard of him. We'll look into him. Why everyone's sleeping on Patrick Schick? Just not the right player. He's not an INEOS signing at all. Would you sign a left wing back this summer? No. I'm happy with Dorgu. I'm happy with Diego Leon coming in. I'm happy with Harry Mas and Luke Shaw if he leaves or if he stays, whatever. I don't care. And then Dallo and potentially, and we need a right wing back really. But Ahmad could play there if Mbeumo comes in, so not a problem. How much do you think United will earn with player sales? In excess of 100 million for sure. Any Japanese players in mind? Oh, Kenji, you know what? You're so right, man. Oh, you're so right. He just said we need players like Kagawa, Jisung Park. You know what? We do need more humility in that squad and hardworking players. You do not get more hardworking players than the East Asian players. They're just awesome. There's one that played. It was so I was so annoyed to find out he was like 30 odd. But there's one that plays for Birmingham who I adore. He just keeps on running. I forgot his name now, but I watched him throughout the playoffs. Throughout the run-in. Sorry, he's so good. And I said if we could sign him 8 years ago, perfect. I was a big fan of Rayo Hatete, to be honest, but not anymore. He's kind of gone off the ball a bit. Savic, Milinkovic Savic as a goalkeeper, he's 6'8". We need to sign him. Binder is 6'6", but I feel like he looks 6'8", so I get what you're saying. What do you think about Baleba from Brighton? I think he's incredible. He's just not gonna sign. Kenny Fan TV, what's going on? Hi Dev, just sub to your channel. Appreciate you guys. If you are new, by the way, follow, sub up, let me know you have. I'll try and shout you out just like I'm doing here. We do need a central midfielder who is explosive like a Jisung Park type of player, honestly. We need a hard worker, is what everyone's technically saying. Do you think we'll sign Gyokeres? No. No English player in the first 11, you prefer that? I couldn't care less. Genuinely couldn't care less. Any new academy players who will or might be regular in the first team next season? Good question by Rojan. For me, yes. I think Sekou Kone, I'd be surprised if he goes on loan to Lausanne because I think he's worth keeping in there. But Sekou Kone, I think is brilliant. Chidowabi, we all know about. Amir Bragimov, Jim Thwaites. Get Jim Thwaites in that team now, people. Jimmy Thwaites needs to be in that team. Jack Morehouse. Jack Morehouse would be incredible. Yeah, I would love it. A bit of a rogue one, but what about Lammens from Royal Antwerp? Had a phenomenal season. Great play out from the back, 6'4". I would take Lammens. I think he's a good goalkeeper, but as a first team player, I don't know. Shea Lacey, of course. Dev just wanted to ask where you're from. Well, I'm from Birmingham. Lived in London for 10 years. Then moved out more recently. And my heritage, I'm from India. Guys talking about Vitinha, I want a piece of what you got. But Vitinha? Bro, Isaac, what are you doing? We're never getting Vitinha. Obviously. Why don't we sign Gyokeres? Arsenal's going after Sheshko Oshimen going to Saudi. Why can't we come to United other than the financial thing? Well, the financial thing is a big thing, isn't it? With Mbeumo, don't you think the mid is overcrowded? He's not a mid, is he? We need a Vitinha-esque player to that midfield. I agree with that. I do agree with you there. Do you agree with Goldbridge that United has just been used by the agent regarding the Donnarumma transfer? Maybe, but there's also the link to Man City. I think Man City is quite a serious link, actually, because I think they'll move on from Edison quite soon. Brought to Ugarte when Joao Neves was available. Joao Neves actively didn't want to come to Man United and want to go to PSG, so it's not as simple as that. Oshimen rejected Saudi. Yep, he did today. We should do a swap deal. Xavi Simons, 30 mil, and they can have Bruno. That is absolutely pathetic. Dev asks AI ChatGPT who is the best potential signing suitable to our budget. God, I don't even want to get them involved in this. Do you see the new players, Cunha and Mbeumo and possibly Gyokeres if he arrives, having the type of mentality the club has been lacking in recent years? 1,000,000%. That's totally out of the question. And you know what? It's a good question because it's not really something that I've spoke about. It's not something that enough people have spoken about, actually. All of these players have quality. Do they have the right mentality to be Man United players? I think all of them do. At the same time, Onana's got the right mentality to be a United goalkeeper. He's just not good enough. I'm not saying, do you know what I mean? But we need to have both. Honest opinion, do you think Amram can actually lead us to UCL glory? I think Amram is the guy personally. I do. Because people will say how and why after the season we've had. And this will kind of be my closing statement. First of all, thank you all so much for coming. Let's hit that 20K on TikTok and let's keep liking on YouTube and subscribe if you are new. This is going to be my closing statement on Ruben Amorim and about getting players and stuff like that. When it comes to getting the players, like I think it's a bit of a myth that players are going to keep on, that people are just going to keep on going like, oh, we're only buying players to suit one system and to do all this. We're actually just buying tactically and technically good players who are versatile enough to play any system, including his. So I think it's all about, all this talk about, they're only playing one way, they're only doing this as one dimensional. It's just not true. All of these players will interchange with each other and they'll do it on a good and regular basis. So we need to get that out of our heads if we can. And also, how many times have we said we want a manager who is going to be strong, who's going to be firm, headstrong? He plays a good style of play. He knows what he wants. He knows who he needs. Who's going to bleed in some of the young talent as well. That's exactly what we've got. So as a final question, Vansh Rameau has asked it. Dev, what do you think is a reasonable objective for next season? European places and far in the cup competitions. And good football. No matter what, good football. If we lose in the right way. If you lose to the better team, you lose to the better team. You lose to a system, you lose to a system. But play well. Create chances, score goals, and keep it tight. That's all I want. But I think that's going to be it. I think that is going to be it. And Bantu has asked, is the Mbeumo deal not official? It's not official, no. A deal hasn't been agreed. A bid hasn't been accepted. But watch this space in a couple of days. I'll be shocked if it's not done tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, maybe Tuesday. It'll be done though. But thank you all so much. And let me know, like in the when I go off live on YouTube, can you get in the comments? Let me know what you think of the show. Please do share around the channel if you've actually enjoyed it. And, same to you guys on TikTok. I appreciate you all so much. I mean, I can't even tell you how many people we've had here, but it's just been ridiculous. We've got 74 people in the live now. It's the most we've ever had. And Kenji, don't worry, we're going to have so many more live shows. If you're new on TikTok, drop a follow as always, but come over to YouTube because now I can tell you a bit more about the giveaway. Just as I'm leaving, the giveaway that we've got for 5K is lovely. Just to give you an idea, you'll see it somewhere here as part of the backdrop. The giveaway is going to be exceptional. You're going to love it. I'm working directly with the manufacturers to make sure it goes straight to you as one of the best and biggest giveaways that I've done. That's going to happen at 5K, so subscribe and let's get there. There's also going to be a big one happening at 10. I can't even tell you what it is. I can just tell you that it's been signed by someone you love. So follow up where you are. The respective ones are, we're trying to hit 10K overall on YouTube. We're trying to hit 200K on TikTok. Make sure you follow up. Instagram is in the link in the description as well. We're trying to hit 100K over there. So we need these targets to come in thick and fast, but I think we can do it. So please do share it around if you can. There's going to be some huge updates coming in, and I appreciate you all as well. Like some of you are stuck in from this live from the beginning, and it's mad. So I appreciate you so, so much. Thank you all. There's some that even messaged me after this and said, like before, said they were going to join and stay the long haul, and they have. You know who you are. Thank you all so much. Please do share around if you can. Going off on YouTube now. So thank you all so much. Appreciate you. See you guys on the next live. And now